I want to say something that goes against almost everything you'll hear in the online marketing world. Being on every social media platform is not a strategy. It's not hustle, it's not commitment, and it's not building a brand. It's a very efficient way to feel productive while making no real progress anywhere, burning yourself out in the process, and wondering 6 months from now why nothing seems to be working. Before you click away, let me tell you who this is for. It's for anyone currently trying to keep a presence going on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn and YouTube at the same time, posting on all of them, getting traction on none of them, pouring hours a week into content that reaches a handful of people and produces nothing. If that's you, and I suspect it might be because it's where most new course creators end up, this video is going to feel like permission. Permission to stop, permission to focus, permission to actually make progress. I'm going to show you why the everywhere approach fails, the one thing that every platform algorithm actually rewards, how to choose the single platform that's right for you, and how to keep a presence elsewhere without it eating your life. Let's start with why being everywhere quietly guarantees you get nowhere. Let me describe the everywhere approach in detail, because I want you to recognize it clearly if it's what you're doing right now. You've heard that social media matters, so you open accounts on the major platforms: Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, YouTube, maybe a podcast, maybe a newsletter. And here's the thing people underestimate: these are not variations on the same job. Instagram rewards reels posted several times a week. YouTube rewards longer videos posted consistently, usually weekly. TikTok rewards high-frequency, short-term content, often daily. LinkedIn rewards written posts with genuine professional insight. Facebook rewards community engagement and video. Different formats, different equipment, different skills, different rhythms. So what happens when you try to do all of them at once? You produce content that's mediocre everywhere because you don't have the time or energy to make it excellent anywhere. You post inconsistently because the volume required to do 5 platforms, is simply unsustainable while you're also building an actual course, and you learn the basics of every platform without developing real command of any of them. Because none of the platforms are getting the consistent, high-quality attention they need to build momentum, none of them compound. That's the sentence I want you to hold on to. You're not building 5 audiences, you're failing to build one audience 5 times over. And this is not a failure of effort. The people I see doing this are usually working incredibly hard, posting every day, learning the formats, doing everything the conventional wisdom tells them to do. The problem isn't the effort, it's the direction of the effort. Effort spread thin doesn't compound. Effort concentrated in one direction does. Here's the open loop I said at the start. The one thing every platform algorithm has in common, no matter how different they look on the surface: they reward consistency and relevance, sustained over time. Not perfection, not viral moments, not the biggest follower count. Consistency and relevance over time. That's it. What that means in practice is that a creator who posts once a week on one platform consistently for 6 months will almost always build more traction than a creator who posts on 5 platforms irregularly for the same 6 months. Every algorithm interprets consistent posting as a signal that you're reliable. It starts to learn what your content is about and who to show it to. It builds a picture of your audience and begins surfacing your work to similar people. That learning takes time, and it requires consistency to develop at all. When you spread yourself across 5 platforms, you're asking 5 algorithms to learn who you are at once, while giving each of them half the signal it needs. When you concentrate on one, you give a single algorithm everything it needs. You develop real fluency in that platform's format and rhythm. You build genuine traction, and there's scale on offer if you get it right. Facebook now has over 3 billion monthly users, Instagram around 3 billion, YouTube roughly 2.5 billion, and TikTok about 2 billion. You don't need a second platform to reach enough of the right people. You need to properly reach the right people on one. Then, and only then, when that platform is working, when it's consistently feeding your email list, when the effort to result ratio makes sense, you add a second. Carefully, without abandoning the first. That's how you build a multi-platform experience that actually works, not all at once, but one at a time. Each one established before the next one begins. So if the everywhere approach is wrong, how do you choose where to focus? 3 questions. The overlap between the 3 answers is your platform. Question 1. Where does your ideal student actually spend time? This is the most important question and the one most people skip because they'd rather choose the platform they personally find most comfortable. Your comfort matters, but your audience matters more. If your course is for professional coaches and consultants, LinkedIn is probably where they spend professional time. If it's for young entrepreneurs and side hustlers, TikTok and Instagram are where they live. And LinkedIn feels formal for them. If it's for people actively searching for a solution to a specific problem, YouTube, because YouTube functions as a search engine as much as a social platform, handling something in the order of 3.5 billion searches a day. Think about the specific person your course serves. Where do they go when they want to learn something or find help with that exact problem you solve? That's where you should be. Question 2. Which content format suits the way you naturally communicate? Every platform has a primary format. YouTube is long-form video. TikTok and Reels are short-form video. LinkedIn is written post. X is short written content. Podcasting is audio. You'll be significantly better at some of these than others, not because of talent, but because of how you naturally think and communicate. Some people are natural writers who find structured prose easy. Others are natural speakers who are more comfortable on camera than on the page. The honest test is this. Which format could you produce consistently to a reasonable standard without it feeling like an enormous effort every single time? That's your format, and your format largely determines your platform. For most course creators, I'd argue video should be the default, because video is the medium closest to teaching, which is a thing you already do. Question 3. Which platform rewards a posting frequently you can actually sustain? This is the practical constraint most people underestimate. TikTok rewards high frequency. Several videos a day is normal for fast-growing accounts, and if you can't sustain that while building a course, TikTok will frustrate you. YouTube rewards consistent weekly posting, which is sustainable for most course creators. Instagram sits in the middle at 3 to 5 posts a week. The platform you choose should be one where the optimal frequency matches what you can sustain, not for a month before you burn out, but for a year, because a year is the timeline that matters. Traction takes months to build, and the creators who win are the ones who stick and are still there in month 8. When I apply all 3 questions to a typical course creator, the answer is most often YouTube. Searching students, a naturally video-shaped skill, and sustainable weekly pace. That's why I've prioritised it on this channel. Not because it's definitely right for everyone, it isn't, but because it's the clearest answer when I run the 3 questions honestly. Run them on your own situation. Your answer might differ from mine, and that's completely fine. What matters is that you have a clear answer and you commit to it. Now, let me take away the thing that makes single platform focus feel scary. The fear that you're missing out everywhere else. Here's the model that solves it. Think of your email list as the hub. Everything connects to it. Every platform, every piece of content, every tactic ultimately exists to bring people into that hub, onto your list, where you have direct, owned access to them. Your chosen platform is the main spoke, the biggest driver of traffic to the hub, and the thing that gets most of your time and energy. And here's where it becomes interesting. Your primary platform almost certainly produces content you can repurpose into smaller formats elsewhere with very little extra effort. One YouTube video produced once can become 2 YouTube shorts, clipped from its most self-contained moments. 3 to 5 Instagram reels using those same clips, a LinkedIn post sharing the core argument in writing, a Facebook post linking to the video with a short summary, and a blog post covering the same ground in text, which also helps you show up in Google search. All of that comes from one piece of content. You didn't create 5 separate things for 5 separate platforms. You created one thing and distributed it in the formats each platform wants. That's not the same as maintaining a full presence on 5 platforms. Your primary platform gets your full creative energy, and the secondary ones get the overflow. Over time, as a secondary platform starts to gain traction, you can make a considered decision about whether to invest more in it. Not because you plan to be there from the start, but because the evidence says it's worth it. The model keeps your focus where it belongs, while still giving you a presence elsewhere that can grow quietly without demanding much extra time. Let me make this concrete because a real example is more useful than a theoretical one. Here's how it works on this channel. The primary platform for Seller School is YouTube. That's where the full-length videos live, where the search traffic comes from, and where the long-form trust building happens. Every video is also clipped into 2 shorts, the most self-contained, highest impact moments, and those shorts are repurposed as Instagram Reels and Facebook Reels with the same or slightly adapted captions. Facebook is the one exception to the repurposing model. Its text post format rewards a different kind of content. So those are written fresh, but even they take about 30 minutes each, not hours. The result is a presence across YouTube, Shorts, Instagram and Facebook from one primary piece of content a week, not 5 content strategies, one strategy distributed. And I'll be honest about the state of it. Instagram is new. Facebook has been dormant and is being rebuilt. And YouTube is the investment, the place where the compound interest is quietly accumulating. This is a deliberate choice, not an accident of what I had time for. Your version might look different. Maybe your primary platform is Instagram and you're repurposing Reels into TikToks and Facebook Reels and writing a weekly LinkedIn post from the same idea. The specific platforms matter far less than the model. Hub and spoke, one primary, the email list at the centre, everything else in service of getting people onto that list. I want to close with something direct. If you've been trying to keep a presence going on several platforms, feeling like you're failing at all of them, you're probably not failing because you're not working hard enough. You're failing because you've been handed advice that doesn't account for where you actually are. Be everywhere is advice for brands with marketing teams and content budgets. It's not advice for a solo course creator who is simultaneously building a course, building an audience, and trying to run a business. So, you have permission to stop posting on the platforms that aren't working for you. Permission to delete the accounts you opened because someone said you should and never touch because they don't feel right. Permission to choose one platform, go deep, and ignore the nagging feeling that you should be doing more. The consistent pattern across every creator I've watched build something real is the same. They got there by going deep on one thing, not shallow on many. Pick your platform, commit to it. Build your email lists from there. That's the strategy. Once you've chosen your platform, the infrastructure that turns its audience into subscribers is an opt-in page, a lead magnet, and a welcome sequence, all built in System.io and all covered step by step in week 1 of this series. The free account link is in the description. The opt-in builder, the email marketing, and the automation, all on the free plan. Next week, we get practical and platform specific. Instagram. How to actually use it to sell an online course. What to put in your bio. What content builds a buying audience rather than just a following. And how to move people off Instagram and onto your email list. If Instagram is the platform you've chosen, next week is built for you. Subscribe so you don't miss it. And if this video gave you clarity about where to focus, or if you're still unsure which platform is right, tell me in the comments what you're building and who it's for, and I'll give you a straight answer. I'll see you next week.